This card chosen for you is from the Fairy Forest, an oracle of the wild green world by Lucy Cavendish. Number 45, The Ancient. Elder experience lessons. The ancient is so old she is almost beyond time. She is able to speak the truth without compromise, as are you when this card comes to you. She is so old, has experienced so much, learned and taught so many lessons that she has become powerful and influential, just as you are becoming too. So too are you growing older, coming into wisdom. She knows that while others are going to come to you for advice and guidance, she sees your humanity, your faults, and your flaws, and your feelings of unworthiness. She wishes to reassure you. Others will come to you seeking knowledge, awaiting a blessing, an initiation, and oblivious to the consequences of the path they wish to walk. Wisdom. True wisdom understands complexity, and you have developed this quality. The ancient is honorable and human, and yet more than human, and she is courageous and has made sacrifices, as you have. She sees straight through comforting illusions, as you do. She represents ancient tradition and the challenge of defining the self, yet remaining within a tradition that you value. And this too is one of your challenges. So take responsibility in your life. You will face the battle of choice, and you will be the antidote to gurus and dominant personalities who claim to have all the answers. The ancient recognizes the challenge of being a teacher. This immersion in a world to learn the ancient arts and venerate wisdom and old ways can be expressed in many forms, but everything you are now learning has value. She is the repository for ancient secrets and the contact between worlds. She is wise. She has learned to consider every word that falls from her lips, even as she longs to call out for freedom. Hageth. This card pulled for you is from the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. Card number 27, Nellis the Alchemist. Inner transformation, irrevocable change. In fairy, and sometimes in our world, alchemy is the study and practice of transforming the soul from the lead of primitive conditioned reactions to the gold of spiritual and practical attainment. Nellis is mistress of the alchemical arts, and she also understands that daily life is a spiritual exercise. She recognized that transformation may take place from the outside or in the inside. When things are stuck and movement has become impossible, Nellis firmly waves her rowan wand, and things happen in ourselves and in the world. Sometimes things just cannot move without a readjustment, perhaps even radical realignment. We may feel that we should be able to bring our plans to fruition, but we may be aiming at the impossible, or at least at the very inappropriate. Part of the impossibility or inappropriateness may be a result of our own attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors, and part of it may be circumstances in the world, things that are beyond our control. Often inner transformation is required in order to achieve what we wish for in the outer world, just as, conversely, changes in the outer world often elicit inner transformation. Personal inner change is the truest transformation of all, and in the long run, it is the only change that really matters. Nellis points out a path we can follow, Jonathan observes, but she does not lead us by the hand along it, although she might give us a nudge if we seem to need it. When an Oracle group member was looking at Nellis, a giggling fairy voice said, "If you concentrate very hard, you can get to the bottom of the problem." The message here for you is that when Nellis turns up in your reading, get ready for things to happen, inwardly and outwardly. The stuck becomes unstuck. The blocked begins to move. You may have to run to keep up with the speed at which the situation around you is moving. You may also be surprised by the direction things and you are taking. You may find your plans, even your desires and dreams, changing as the transformative process takes place. It might not have been in your plans, but later you will look back and say, wow, it wasn't what I expected, but it was just what I needed. When we have been through such an alchemical process, we can never go back to what we were before, which is probably just as well. As a warning, you may be getting in Nellis's way as she does her work. To put it bluntly, you may be the main obstacle in your own path. It may be necessary to transform attitudes and behaviors. She will first approach you with tact and a kindly fairy warning, pointing out an alternative path you might try. At this point, it would be well to begin actively cooperating with her. The energy of alchemical transformation. This is quite a hefty fairy. Her wand, I mean. She carries it, and I'm sure it isn't for decoration. I asked her about that, but she only got an outrageous grin in reply. Fairies hide what you want and reveal what you need.